Yo, what's going on everyone? Impulse here and welcome back to another video. So today I've got a battle against Dylan, also known as Kyoe, over on the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Amino. So as promised, you can see I'm using a different team. I've got a Magnezone, a Sceptile, a Mandibuzz, Shiinotic, Heatran and Gyarados. And my opponent's going to be bringing a Toxapex, Mimikyu, Silvally, Latios, Gallade and Volcarona. For those that didn't know, the price stack stands at these mons. And if he wins the battle, then he'll get all of them. And if he loses, I'll add one more to the price stack. So let's get into this battle and see what happens. So I am challenged by Pokemon trainer Dylan. And I'm going to lead off with Magnezone. And I'm predicting him to lead off with Toxapex because it's his only hazard setup. I figured I've got a chance to use Volt Switch and get out of there. So I looked at his team, I decided I'm going to go for that Volt Switch, and yeah, he just stays in, and it's going to bring him all the way down thanks to a critical hit. I actually expected him to switch, and for me to get some switch initiative, but that doesn't go down. So I'm going to go out into Gyarados, figuring it can't really touch me. He's not going to go for the Scald first turn, he's probably going to set up a layer of hazards. And he actually goes for Infestation, so I really wasn't expecting that at all. And yeah, that means I'm going to start taking HP every turn. So I'm going to pop my leftovers, which is good. This is not a Mega Gyarados because I actually hate Mega Gyarados. It's just not good in my opinion. And I prefer the old school set that I used to use. So now I'm going to set up a substitute and I'm going to really protect myself from this thing in case it does want to fire off a Scald. It actually just goes for a Recover, so that's pretty interesting. No switches there. So I'm going to get some leftovers back now, and because I've got a sub up, the infestation ends. He's not going to be able to put it back up, and he's not going to be able to put a status on me through like Scald or anything like that. So I'm free to really set up a Dragon Dance. So I'm going to set up one Dragon Dance and see how I feel about that. My opponent is just going to be able to have to, you know, spam attack, but no, he actually goes for the Recover. So he's back up to full health, so I'm figuring this thing's not got Regenerator. So I know I need to take it down, I can't mess around with it too much, and I don't want to get hazed. And he goes for a switch, and he goes into Latios. I figure I might as well get the EQ off, because I carry Earthquake on this thing, but obviously that levitates, so that was a good switch by him. And now I'm left to recover a little bit more behind these screens. So I outspeed this Latios, and I don't know what it's going to want to do, but I'm going to go straight for a Waterfall, and even though it's not very effective, I've got a +1 attack, so it's going to do some nice damage, and I actually get the flinch, so he's unable to break the sub this turn, which is great for me. So I'm not going to mess around, I'm just going to go straight for a second one. And after this one, I'll be able to take it out with the third one having no sub left. But he just goes for a Draco Meteor. And yeah, of course, Draco's going to do immense damage, whether it's attack invested or not. And that's going to pop the sub. So he's going to take a special attack drop. And I figure I might be a little bit cheeky. Maybe. I'm not sure if I'll be able to survive or not. So we'll see what happens. I'll go for another substitute and see if I can survive an attack from a -2 sub. From a -2 attack. So it goes for another Draco Meteor, so now it's -4 regardless of what happens. And yeah, he's going to come in, he's going to attack it, and it's going to take damage and it's going to fade. He's going to lose another -2 special attack. And of course that's going to leave me to set up another substitute. So I'm about half HP, and yeah, he uses Ice Beam, -4 Ice Beam, neutral damage, not going to be able to take out the sub. And I'm going to be able to continue moving on in my sweep. So he actually said that he was expecting the previous team, because I had this battle very close to the previous one, and he didn't know I was switching things up, so he kind of made some counter precautions for the previous team. But of course I wanted to switch it up, keep things fresh, so that's why I made a new team. So he's going to bring in Mimikyu now, and yeah, he's got the disguise, I'm not sure if he's got the focus sash or anything like that, but I've got the sub, so I know that I can safely attack this at least one time. So I'm going to pop the disguise, and I kind of hope for a flinch so he can't set up anything or break the sub, and he just goes for a sword dance. So not the greatest play there, but he could still have something up his sleeve. And now I've still got the sub. He's got a +2 in attack, but I've got the substitute, so I'm just going to be able to waterfall this thing. And that's just going to take it out. There's no sash as well, so I was like, oh okay, I was a little bit surprised about that one. And I'm just going to get some more leftovers back. And my HP is looking really good now from being behind the sub for so many turns. And Galade's going to come on out. So Galade's going to go for its Mega Evolution, of course, and become a lot more powerful, a lot faster. But thankfully I still have that sub. The all-important sub saving my life. I'm just going to go for a waterfall and do as much as I can to it. And frail defenses on Galade. It's going to take a lot of damage, and then fire off a Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade's going to destroy the sub, and now I am exposed. I can't mess around setting up another one, unfortunately, so I just go for a waterfall and take Galade down. So Gyarados putting on a lot of work against his team so far. We're going to get some leftovers recovery, and out comes Salvalle, and I really don't know what this thing does. It can be one of those Attackymons or special Attackymons, and I didn't really have much I wanted to do. I didn't want to, you know, take too much, and I go for a waterfall and get the flinch. I kind of was expecting the Thunderbolt, to be honest, but I figured that Gyarados has done enough, and that happened, and I felt quite bad at that point. But it's not going to stop me from firing off a second one and scoring the KO. So Lefties is going to pop yet again, and Gyarados is almost back up full, so it's looking nice and healthy now as Toxapex comes out. I know that Toxapex cannot touch Gyarados in the slightest, so I've got nothing to fear by setting up another substitute. So I set up the sub, and he goes for a Toxic, but obviously that doesn't work because I'm behind the sub, so I'm in a good position yet again. I'm at a +1, and I figure I've got nothing better to do but fire off an Earthquake. I don't want to get greedy with the pluses, there's no need for that. And yeah, I'm just going to see how much this does, and it does a lot of damage, so that's pretty good to see. He goes for a Scald, trying to pop the sub now, and I think by this point he's already realised that the substitute has been a big problem to him, but he's unable to pop it because of the investments that I've got, and because Toxapex doesn't really have a powerful punch, and it's of course not very effective. So I'm just going to go for another Earthquake, and I'm going to take out Toxapex. Toxapex goes down, and that doesn't really leave him with many options. So he's going to bring in Volcarona, and of course I'm super effective against it. I was kind of expecting the last mon to get the flame body off on me, and I go for a waterfall anyway, and it's just going to take it out. So GG Dylan, it was a good game, and obviously I'll be adding one more mon to the price stack. I've got some more battles coming up. I've got a pretty long queue. But if you do want to be featured in one of these videos, get yourself in the queue, drop your FC and time zone in the comments below. Cannot speak at the moment, what is going on? Anyway guys, this is the mon that's going to be added to the price stack. So the next challenger will be battling for all of those. And yeah, if you've enjoyed the video or learned something useful, go ahead and mash that like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters!